And welcome to session 2 of the Powerlifting America Indiana State Championship. Kicking things off with Jennifer Shuck, opening up at 70 kilos.
Sinks it pretty deep. A little bit sticky for an opener. I'm wondering where we're going to go up, especially with the two reds for, I assume, depth.
That yellow card, probably a command. It looks like she racked it pretty fast after she stood back up, so possibly just some problem with that command. But hey, you know what? She got two whites, or two reds, which means that she does have a chance of that white. And she's got 2 more chances to come back and get that weight. Naomi Mills, 77.5 kilos, being loaded up onto the combo rack.
Make sure to lock the knees. Very smooth opener from
Very
Naomi.
smooth. Got the green lights and everything. We bragged about it in session 1, and we'll brag about it again in session 2, but stellar shots of the media team for this meet. They are running the live stream and all of the media to do with it. They also have green will shine on the platform whenever it's a good lift, and red will shine on the platform when it is not a good lift. I mentioned the last time they were the first media team that I ever saw do it, and it is just such an innovative thing. It's to just accelerate the sport of powerlifting. Oh, we got a bare knee squatter, Macy, 85 kilos.
Very smooth opener from her, especially sleeveless. That's crazy.
Oh, man.
I believe
It's
she
those
jumped.
commands.
Yeah,
It's
I
those
believe.
commands. It's that rack command. In the squat, you have to wait until you get the start command. So they'll say squat, and they'll have this nice gesture with their hands. And you can see it a little bit on the live stream to help the viewers at home.
We saw that quite a bit this morning from the earlier sesh with the men's.
Absolutely. There's no command whenever you're on the bottom of the squat. You don't have to wait for a command to come back up, but you do have to wait for that rack command at the very end once you are stood back up and locked out. We've got China, 95 kilos. Two to one, that's all you need.
Yep. I believe that red from the center ref would also be for the start command, I believe. We just saw that a lot earlier this men's session as well. But knowing your opener moves that smooth, it's not something you can't correct.
Absolutely. The nerves that come with that opening squat is always some kind of battle to fight. You're coming out and you're nervous. Once you get that out of the way, then the rest of the day can go a lot smoother.
Very fast opener for Claire.
Very snappy. It's always cool to see the lifters stand up so fast and they just stay there and hold it. And it really helps with not jumping that rack command at the end. Your spotters are going to guide you back in, so you just kind of stand there and wait.
That's one thing I tend to tell my athletes is the spotters will guide you in. So if you're really unsure, just don't do it yourself.
Yeah, just stand. Just stop, freeze, stand right there, and then once someone starts guiding you back in, then you can go and you can move. Reagan, 107.5 kilos on the bar.
A very fast opener from Reagan. Wondering what kind of jumps she'll tend to take after that move that easy.
Absolutely. You see a large variety, especially at local meets, with really, really, really large jumps from first to seconds, and then seconds back to thirds.
Especially with these lighter weight classes, they do tend to take smaller jumps, but when it's that fast, it's hard to argue against the bigger jump.
We've got Ty's fan club in the chat box right now, hoping to keep it going, Levi. During session 1, we had a moderately active chat box, so maybe for session 2, you guys can keep us entertained. Nikki coming out 122.5 kilos. Very controlled opener. Let's see what the judges say. Looks like it just was not deep enough.
This is one of those tricky situations where when it moves like that, but you're getting called for depth, do you retake or do you go up?
I think it all depends on your risk tolerance.
Yeah,
I have a super low risk tolerance when it comes to that, so I am always retaking.
Yeah, it's truly like a trade-off thing. It's, do you want to add that to the total or potentially risk submitting a total?
Absolutely. I think it depends on your goals for the meet. With you and your coach, you decide before going into the meet day. Is your goal to qualify? Do you need a certain number? Are you going for gold? Kind of just depends.
A lot of things to consider.
Taking the bar up over 300 pounds, 145 kilos. White lights, and that is a good lift, good opener. As we move on to our last 2 opening squats for this flight.
Like downstairs.
Got Caitlin Mankind jumping all the way over 400 pounds now, 187.5 kilos.
Big opener here. Very smooth as well. Over 400-pound squat, free white lights. That's a good lift. Very solid opener. Next, we have an opener with 458 pounds. This is a massive opener in the 120 class, 120 plus class.
Catherine Tranum. She is a massive squat. She has a beautiful squat. It is massive, very controlled, very calculated. It's always a fun time to watch Catherine squat, because it's just one of those. I mean, you'll see it here in just a couple seconds, but I mean, she just goes down and goes right back up, and it just makes sense.
Well, I couldn't have phrased it any better. That was straight up and down.
There's not many ways to explain like the beauty that is that squat. Just seeing her, she goes to Circle City String, and just being able to watch her train, you know, it's a really cool thing when someone is just built for this lift and works so hard to perfect it, and it shows on the platform for her. She's worked a long time and a really hard time for a squat that pretty. So it's very cool to see it pay off.
It seems Jennifer has elected to retake that opener and just try to secure the total.
We had some nice battles with placing for the first session of the men's. I'm curious to see how all of the women and the rest of the men are going to put up on that leaderboard. Let's go, Jennifer.
Pretty white lights. Very smooth lift.
Seems probably her opener was just nerves. Because, I mean, that moved just as good, if not better, than her opener. And
They say the first squat is like the lift that is the most stressful of the day.
oh, absolutely. Unless you're really bad at deadlifts like me, then I'm kind of nervous about them. Oh, we have some early predictions in the chat. All right, Naomi, 85 kilos. Second attempt.
Very smooth second. I'd expect a pretty large jump on the third.
She went 77 to 85. We're probably looking at her going around 90-ish. Looks like early leads, Caitlin Mankind, Catherine Tranum, and Morelia Sanchez, top 3. Macy has decided to go up 5 kilos instead of retaking. It moved very well. Let's see what the judges say. 3 white lights, that risk paid off, and she went ahead and jumped anyway.
Certainly a good choice to move up.
Taking the bar up to 105 kilos for China. Oh man, it was controlled. It looked pretty. Got some yellow cards from the side.
Could be, looked to me like a command infraction, but with the speed that moved, I wouldn't be surprised if they opted to move up.
Absolutely. Looks like she's retaken it just to kind of secure. Reagan coming out, 115 kilos. Oh man, that was smooth. 3 white lights.
That was very easy.
I was expecting like a little sticking point
Yeah.
there. She just breezed right through it.
10-kilo jump for Farah on her second.
Seems fair the way that her opener moved.
I would encourage that kind of jump after that opener.
Yeah. You'll notice the spotters and loaders are moving the racks in. The combo racks are really cool, not only because they can do squat or bench, but also because the arms can come in. Power bars are a little narrower than squat bars, and so sometimes lifters will elect to have the arms in so that they don't hit the plates against the rack as they're walking out or in. Just remove the variable of surprise in every way that you can.
A little uneven on that right side, but it looked relatively easy. It's just if that right side does tend to fall, that could fail the lift on the third.
Absolutely. It moved well. It looks like that balance put one of her hips at minimum a little high.
On the squat, that all red card is going to indicate a depth infraction, so that is likely what happened.
I like the cards. I think most feds at this point have implemented cards in one way or another.
It's just good to communicate with not only the audience, but of course the athlete themselves. Like, what is the issue? Like, why is the call?
It's so helpful. It also keeps referees accountable too. It makes sure that you have to have your reason that you're stating right then and there. I don't think that there's that many malicious refs out there. I don't think I personally know, but I'm sure it exists.
It does keep them accountable, it's like.
But this is another way to keep them all accountable. 130 kilos for Nikki.
She has opted to go up from her opener despite missing on, I believe, depth. But with how that moved, all she has to do is sink it a little bit lower. It shouldn't be an issue.
That does look deeper, and let's see if it was deep enough. Oh, it looks like it still wasn't quite there. Fortunately, you do have 3 attempts, and you only really need to get one of those 3.
Here's where, like, as a coach, when you're now at 2 lifts missed, the safe option, we're probably going to retake it again just to make sure we're on the board, because if you do miss all 3 lifts on any of the lifts, you do not total.
Taken up to 155 kilos.
Very controlled descent. Pretty smooth.
I feel like that's exactly what you want your second attempt squat to look like. You still have in the tank, but it wasn't an opener. Taking a massive jump up to 197.5 kilos. That's 435 pounds. Bar is loaded for Caitlin. With those knee sleeves, it's a good time to mention that SBD is a sponsor of this meet. You can see their logo in the back. You can also see the logo on Caitlin's knee sleeves.
Smooth
And that's a
second.
good lift. All right, Catherine made her opener fly and then jumped up to 222.5 kilos, all the way up to 490 pounds.
This is a massive squat, let alone a second, from an 84.
Here we go, Catherine. See that? Jordan pushed the other spotter off. He said, nah, I got this. Great pick. Come on, Catherine.
Wow. Very precise and slow setup, and then the weight moves like that.
Oh my gosh, that looked like an opener. Not just any opener, that looked like her opener. Amazing job, Catherine. Back up to the top 4 third attempts. These are the heaviest squats that these athletes are going to be completing today. Jennifer came back and got her opener weight on her second attempt, jumped up to 77.5. We're going into thirds with Caitlin, Catherine, and Morelia as our top 3 projected.
Looked like a perfect third attempt to me.
She was able to grind out through that sticking point and is rewarded with 3 white lights and a good lift. Now seems like a good time to shout out our spotters and loaders. Spotters and loaders definitely have the hardest job of any powerlifting meet. They are working their butts off, making sure that everybody stays safe and that weights are loaded correctly. And on top of that, they cheer every athlete on and encourage them. So if you know a spotter and loader, give them a nice high five.
Ooh.
Great catch by those spotters. We will see her back on bench press. Taking the bar up to 95 kilos. Macy took a risk and went ahead and jumped from her opening weight that she missed anyway. It paid off. And now we're behind her to make sure that we cheer her on so that she can get her third.
Based on that second, I think she has it, for sure.
Come on, Maisie.
Absolutely sinks and smokes it.
Amazing. My gosh, my knees hurt just watching that. Let me stretch out real quick to make sure they still work.
That was very smooth and definitely depth.
Absolutely. No questions there. No questions at all. All right, China. 105. She got to sink that side. She got off balance, it looks like, on her second attempt. And got called high from the front and one side. So all she's got to do is make sure that she sinks this, and she's got it in the bag. Oh, yeah, that looked much more controlled than her second. Very nice, very nice.
Almost looked like a pause squat almost,
Yeah.
in the bottom.
It's like, hey, just making sure you guys see I'm down here.
Fair's opted to retake, which is, on the third attempt, is probably the safer route because we already have the opener secured. But if we were to go up and fail the third, you're losing 10 keys to your total. From a total perspective, it's certainly the safer route, as this will add 10 keys to your total, and it will, if it's easy, it conserves energy for squat, bench, and deadlift.
She stands up with it. Let's see what the judges say. I see green. That means it's a good lift.
Easy, and it's 2-1. There's no jury here to overrule that.
Absolutely. And honestly, you don't get extra points for being, you know, the deepest squatter. All you have to do is hit depth. As long as you hit depth, you're good. And only 2 people on the platform have to think that you hit depth. That's why it's so nice that you have 3 judges. Now, even from the angle that we're watching it on the live stream, it's not what the judges are seeing. They've got by far the best view of anybody.
For depth, the side view is certainly the best one.
I agree with that statement wholeheartedly. All right, come on, Reagan.
Very smooth. Let's see what the judges have to say.
Oh, got a big smile on her face. 3
Three
white
white
lights.
lights.
That's a 3 for 3 squat day for Reagan.
Very strong third attempt.
All right, Nikki's going to come up next, 130 kilos, retaking her second attempt weight. She's got to hit depth here to stay in the meet.
Honestly, I think she can hit it as well. The first 2 didn't look like strength issues. It's just a matter of hitting depth. All she has to do is sink it a little bit lower and secure that total.
Absolutely. She is for sure more than capable of this. She's just got to have the confidence. Come on, Nikki.
That looks better to me.
Absolutely. And the judges agree. 3 white lights. And she stays in the meet. Oh yeah, look
that's
at that.
undeniable.
That's so good. Good job, Nikki. We were all cheering for you. Last 3 squats of flight A. And then we will roll straight into flight B. Got 160 kilos on the bar. Oh, and she grinds through that sticking point with a smile on her face.
3 white lights. Absolutely perfect attempt selection today.
Oh, and the jumps for joy in the back, celebrating. Love to see that. Yeah, you want your third attempt to look like that. You want it to look hard, but you also want to be able to, not have an RPE 15 grinder where you're not going to have the energy to push in bench and deadlift. It's a whole meet. You got to save your energy.
For sure, and we'll see that a lot, especially like with squats specifically. People will save energy and perhaps go a little under what their top end is on the day, save for deadlift, which is where you can usually make up your most of your ground.
That's where the games begin. That's when you fight for your spots. Come on, Caitlin, 210 kilos.
Ooh.
Oh, man. Great catch by the spotters there.
Just a little too much on the day.
And then wrapping up our Flight A squats, we've got Catherine Tranum. She has been very controlled, very in control of her squats this meet so far. Jumping up to 232.5 kilos. That's going to be 512 pounds. You'll see they've got 2 spotters on both sides now. Once you pass a certain threshold, around that 500-pound mark is where you need to have 2 spotters on both sides, again, with that forefront of safety in mind. Nice pick, Catherine. Come on.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Looks just like our opener.
It's so impressive to move that much weight so fast.
That is an efficient high bar squat.
It's so skilled. And Catherine's honestly the perfect example of finding exactly what works for you and then running with it. Moving on to Flight B, we've got Roman kicking us off. Our standings currently look like Caitlin is still in the lead with Catherine trailing closely behind for second. And then Morelia holding on to that third place spot. A lot can change in a meet. So I'm excited to see where this top 10 travels throughout the duration. It looks like we do have some close contenders for the 4th through 6th spot.
So I'm reading that Roman's a 9-year-old. Personally, he's my pick for today.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. He's Nikki's son. They get to compete together as mother and son.
That is awesome.
It's very cool. And who says powerlifting isn't a family sport?
Easy.
Took it to the basement, Roman.
Beautiful opener from Roman. Securing that total.
3 white lights. Jumping up to 105 kilos for Jonathan's opener. Oh no. Looks like he might have jumped that rack command stepping forward. It's that first squat nerves.
We've seen this a lot today. Again, I think if with those nerves, I'd encourage lifters to just wait until the spotters bring you in.
Absolutely. And it's another thing too, is make sure you're training with the commands. If it's second habit to you, if it's second nature, then whenever you get up on the platform, even however nervous you are, because it is very nerve-wracking for sure, but it's going to be second nature to you. 125 kilos, that 275-pound mark for Sawyer's opener.
A little sticky out of a hole, but smooth opener.
Smooth opener, he gets white lights.
Secure, puts him on the board.
Puts him on the board. Landon's getting settled.
Very easy. Everything about that was fast. Move fast. The walkout was honestly pretty fast.
Yeah, it was.
Well. Huge jump up to 175 opener for Fyodor.
So in Powerlifting America and IPF affiliates, they need to have the start command given prior to the time clock expiring. So it differs a little bit from other federations where maybe you just have to unrack the bar by the time that the time clock expires. But in this federation, you've still got to make sure you get those start commands before the time clock expires.
Landon will not be missing any of those commands anytime soon. Another smooth opener. Really deep.
You'll see on the banner behind the athletes, you see a lot of different types of logos. So we already highlighted SBD, and you see their logo a lot of places, such as the person's singlet, Mateo coming up. Bells of Steel is another sponsor for this meet. They are the biggest sponsor for this meet. They are an equipment manufacturer out of Indiana.
Wow. Another smooth opener. We're seeing a lot of these openers today being very fast.
Oh my gosh, that's so nice. I get so nervous when I'm watching a meet and someone's got an opener and you're like, oh no, I don't know if they're gonna get it up.
That is the way it should be. The opener should be pretty fast.
Absolutely. You should be confident in your opener no matter what the external conditions or nerves or anything like that is like.
Absolutely. And powerlifting, you can't go down in weight. So, you know, if you're unconfident, start light, just keep going up.
Let's see what the judges say on that one. 3 white lights. That's going to be a good lift. You can see back there in the corner, the next on-deck lifter is going to be right by the chalk bowl. They're going to chalk up. They're going to get prepared. They have an entire minute from the time that bar is loaded is called by the chief referee. So you might as well take your time, as long as you're not taking too much time to risk have that time clock expiring on you. Let's go, Chase. Opening up at 192.5 kilos.
A little slower than other openers we've been seeing, but smooth nonetheless. And some people just can grind more than others, so this isn't like necessarily a bad thing.
Got that grind set mindset. Aiden, 205 kilos.
This is a massive opener for a 74. This is almost a 3 times body weight squat on the opener. I'm expecting him to push upwards and into 3 times body weight more on his second.
Aiden's going to be our heaviest opener of this flight. And then we will go straight up to Roman to kick off our second attempts.
Smooth work. A little sticking point out of the hole, but nothing to be concerned about. Moved just about as any opener should.
Yeah, I think Aiden and Chase both, they have a lot of room left in their strength. I've seen Chase grind out some pretty crazy attempts. He sticks with it. I've seen him compete a couple times at our meets. And he's definitely got the tenacity to just kind of push through and do what he's got to do.
I'm very curious in what he'll end up taking then.
For sure. It's always cool to see lifters. You recognize them from another meet. And you're like, oh man. Come on, Roman.
Smooth squat from Roman there. Pretty white lights.
Jumping up to 110 kilos. Jonathan missed his opener. It looks like he got yellow cards. He's elected to jump 5 kilos up to his second. From what I remember, his opener moved really well. He just had that misstep at the end that caused him to jump the rack command.
5 kilo jump, kind of meeting in the middle of staying where you are and still going up. Add 5 more kilos, and this should well be within his strength today.
All right, it's back in the rack, and the judges say it's a good lift.
Looked a little sticky, but honestly, I think he sunk it extra deep this time.
Oh, yeah.
That looked incredibly deep.
Jumping 10 kilos, we've got Sawyer taking 135. Let's go, Sawyer. Another bare knee squatter, and looks like no problems at all hitting depth on that squat.
Very smooth.
Speedy second attempt.
Much like his opener, there's got to be a bigger jump to this third.
Taking the bar over 400 pounds now, 185 kilos. Got the Inzer singlet on.
Smooth second.
3 white lights. All right, so we've got our men's top 10, and that does include our entire first session. But we absolutely are expecting to see some people climbing the ranks.
Here's Mateo coming out for 192.5, which is 430 kilos, or 25 kilos. Wow. Very fast. Mind you, he's a 74. 2-1, we're looking like right side ref gave him red for depth, but 2-1's all you need. At these local meets, we do not have a jury, so there's no way to overrule a non-all-white lift. Compared to national or world level meets, where a jury will review that and make sure that the lift is good if it's 2-1.
Looks like he got called on depth from the one side and the front. He does have another chance to come back and get that weight on his third if he chooses to stay there, or he can go up. You just can't go back down.
I believe he'll probably stay there just to get the extra 10 keys on his total, because that did look a little more stickier than his open. but you never know. He could have lost a little positioning in that hole, and if that's so, well, you can expect like a relatively small, like 2.5 key jump, just to add a little more. But it looks like he did take 2.5 key jump for his third attempt.
And let's see what the judges say. 3 white lights. He's getting amped up now.
Great second attempt. Him getting that amped up is probably going to signal a big third. We'll see. Here we have Aiden Gardner taking 217.5. Just shy of 485 is 480. As a 74, that is very big.
Aiden coming out for his second attempt squat. A great catch by our spotters. He's got one more shot to come back and get that weight back up to the top with Roman, 28.5 kilos on the bar. We are getting to see, we have Mateo and Aiden climbing the ranks here. It's going to be interesting to see how many of the original top 10 from the first session are now placed overall. Take this time to go ahead and shout out Avansis. Their logo is on that bottom right from the view of the live stream. It just dropped new blue shoes. Let's go, Roman. You hear the cheers from the crowd.
Pretty wild lights. Roman absolutely mogs the meat. He was very confident.
Definitely the fan favorite today, it appears.
For sure.
Oh, and just not enough juice on the day, but he still did get his second attempt, which means that he is in the meet.
Just a little too much on the day. But he only loses 5 keys from that, so he can always come back. And he does have a total secured, so at the end of the day, that's all that really matters.
Yeah, you just need one. I call powerlifting a nice low-maintenance sport. You only need 2 of the 3 judges to think that it was good, and you only need 1 of the 3 attempts for each lift to count, and you got a total. Sawyer made nice 10-kilo jumps for each of his attempts and went 3 for 3.
Very smooth. Once he's out of that hole, it just speeds right up.
Going into bench with some confidence after a 3 for 3 squat day.
That's sometimes the thing is, even if you don't go all out on squat, just having that free lifts in builds confidence for your bench and deadlift, and it's obviously secures your total as well. For some lifters, that confidence is going to add more to their total than going all out and potentially failing.
Very nicely executed third attempt for Landon. Also went 3 for 3 on his squats. Jumping all the way up to 192.5 kilos now. We are absolutely zooming through this session.
It's one of the challenging things is these are relatively short flights. With a turnaround of only like 6 people, that is, can be a little challenging for lifters who are used to bigger 10-person flights.
Yeah, it's part of the shift that we're seeing in powerlifting now. You wouldn't even dream of having this short of a meet 10 years ago in powerlifting, and now it's more common than not.
Oh, absolutely. And untested especially, you'll see like 20-minute flights.
Mm-hmm. An awesome third attempt. And 3 white lights. Yeah, I prefer the shorter sessions, personally.
It is definitely something to adapt to, but honestly, I think it's beneficial for the lifter because you can't really get cold. For Isaiah, he's out there to take a 2.5 key jump because I think on the second he just lost a little bit of positioning. If he can just maintain that, I mean, 2.5 is a safe jump, probably. Just a little too much on the day.
Still got his opener. So he is still in the meet. You'll see Nutt Strength Systems down on that banner as well. Shane competed this morning in the first session and was also one of the sponsors for this meet, was his coaching.
Also, just to give a little credit to Shane, he's coaching now, but he also was coaching in the morning while competing, which is very commendable. I wouldn't have the mental capacity to do all that, but here's Mateo, a very large squat for a 74. Sinks it. Ooh. A little uneven on the way up, but very easy nonetheless. 3 white lights. Sometimes that's just a natural compensation pattern.
All right, Chase coming up next. He jumped 5 kilos. He was amped after his second. Let's see it lead him through his third. Unless he's timing out.
He could be timing out. I mean, with a 5 key jump, maybe it just wasn't worth it to him in hindsight.
Yeah,
But
sometimes.
he only does have 10 seconds if he does want to come out for this. But
Yeah, sometimes it's more of like a maturity and a call for a lifter. And it's also just considerate for especially these short flights, where Chase might have kind of looked at it and said, you know what, I got what I wanted on my second. Don't really feel like expending the energy to take my third, but he's still trying to give the lifters in his flight the courtesy of that 1 minute break so that they don't have as quick of a turn from their first to second and second to third attempts. So absolutely could have been just a courtesy thing.
absolutely, with the etiquette, with these short turnarounds, you can scratch a lift, but that does remove your lift from the flight. And with 7, 8 people, that does make an impact on someone's performance potentially.
Absolutely.
It is, like you said, courteous to leave it in and just not come out. Here's Aiden retaking his second. See if he can fight it out this time. Just a little too much on the day. But he does have his opener in. He does, however, lose 12.5 keys off at total. But also weighing 74 and squatting 205, that's still going to keep him in the running for a good placement overall.
We have Catherine, Caitlin, and Morelia, our top 3 projected for the women's side. And for our men, Shane from the first session is still leading Corbin and Austin from the first session as well. We've got Aiden, Connor, Nicholas, Ronald, Riley, Brandon, and Braden. So as we go through this session, we're going to probably see some jumping around in the top 10 men and obviously our top 10 women as well. Kicking things off with Jennifer. Welcome back to the bench press.
Very easy opener.
The thing that's different about Powerlifting America and the IPF affiliates is you have to hit low depth. So we're looking for elbow depth on top of the other stuff. And if you don't achieve elbow depth, then that is a cause for red lights. That's going to be a good opener for Naomi. Sounds like Reagan has a nice fan club here for her today.
The crowd is on her side.
Absolutely. Opening up with 55 kilos. She had a great squat day. Went 3 for 3 on squats. Let's keep that energy moving into bench.
Very easy opener for Reagan.
So in squat, we only had 2 commands that we had to listen to. In bench, you've got 3. So you've got to unrack the bar, get yourself set up in your starting position, and wait for that start command. And then once your bar is motionless on your chest, wait for that press command. And once you are all locked out again, you've got to wait for that rack command.
Another easy opener there.
On bench press especially, you want to see the openers flying because bench strength drops off so fast. It's hard. It's hard. Yeah, it's a lot harder to grind out a bench press attempt. Taking the bar to 57.5 kilos for Macy.
I like Victoria smooth openers. These are real easy.
Makes it easy to cheer.
Very fast.
Another smooth opener and 3 white lights. Keeping the bar at 65 kilos for Morelia. We are already halfway through our opening attempts for this flight. Another smooth opener. There's not much to comment about. They're doing a great job.
It is always good to see an uneventful opener,
Yeah.
opening round.
Be a little concerned if we had a lot to talk about right now. Nikki's going to open at 67.5 kilos. Time to shout out Lemieux Training Systems, front and center, right in the direct line of view of the stream. Another sponsor for today's meet. You'll notice Nikki paused before she got ready to unrack the bar. She spoke with the handoff individual, explaining exactly how she wants her handoff. That's so important.
Very easy. Yet again, going off of that though, in Powerlifting America, we are as a federation, we are not allowed to pick our own person who gives off our liftoff. It has to be someone from the spotter loaded crew. So communicating that is very crucial because you just won't have practice with it in the gym. You have to explain it the day of on the platform.
A good explanation can do wonders when you're explaining how you want the handoff. You don't want something that you're not used to, especially whenever this is, you get 3 shots. Caitlin's opening up at 92.5 kilos.
Very easy. And going off of that, you'll see a lot of athletes in this flight are going to be giving themselves like a self handoff because it just removes another variable on meet day. Just in case you only have a minute, you can't fully explain your liftoff, or if you're very particular. Just being able to do it yourself is going to remove a variable and keep your bench setup consistent.
Wrapping up our openers for this flight, we've got Catherine Tranum opening up at 107.5 kilos. You'll see Catherine's ability to control her lifts very, very well also on bench press.
Very easy. Soft touch gets the quick press command.
Back up to the top with Jennifer. It looks like she took a 5 kilo jump from her opening attempt bench press to her second. Whereas on squat, we had a lot of 20 kilo jumps from attempt to attempt. We're probably not going to see that today on bench press.
On bench, it's just harder to simply load that much and take that big of a jump. Very smooth second.
another soft touch on a bench. 3 white lights.
A little bit of a slowdown at the top, but you're going to see that with these narrower benches, that kind of bench style uses more tricep, and at the top you're going to see a lot more of a sticking point show up there than it is off the chest. You'll usually see it a lot quicker off the chest than a max pressure.
Oh, we hear Reagan's fan crew again. We love to see when people come out and support their lifters. $5-kilo jump for Reagan as well. Somewhere definitely between a 2.5 to 5-kilo jump for Reagan, depending on how aggressive her and her coach want to make it today. That's a good lift. You'll notice Macy had a little bit longer of a hold, if you may, on her chest, but it's just because the bar wasn't motionless. In order to get your press command, you need to make sure the bar is motionless on your chest. We've got China, 60 kilos.
A little sticky in the middle. Maybe just lost a little bit of positioning. It didn't look very hard. Another 5Q jump for Farah.
In those technical bench press setups, even just the smallest amount of positioning can make such a big difference. It can make certain parts stickier than they needed to be just with slight position. That can be fixed for the next attempt very easily.
Even just being slightly further out of the bench can massively affect your bar path, your foot positioning.
That's a speedy second attempt.
I'd be curious to see. I'm going to guess another 5Q jump that is pretty consistent among this flight, but based off that, 7.5 wouldn't be overly ambitious, I don't think.
Yeah, you see this range of weight, especially for female benches. You see that 5-kilo jump from first to second, and then somewhere between a 2.5 to 5-kilo jump from the second to the third. Stuck through the sticking point there.
Slower, but not really a big, major sticking point there. Definitely smooth.
Definitely smooth. Probably go a 2.5-kilo jump from the second
That's
to the
what I was
third.
thinking.
Nikki also following the 5-kilo jump from first to second. Her opener was very, very easy. Come on, Nikki.
Very easy second.
Yeah, I could see her going 2.5 or 5. It really just depends. The other thing, too, is you don't know how much these lifters can grind out their bench press attempts or what true RPE 7, 8, or plus looks like for them. We're now getting into the 7.5 kilo jumps between the first and the second, which is very typical for this type of weight range for Caitlin. Second attempt at 100 kilos. 220 pounds. And a nice smooth second attempt for
Very
Caitlin.
easy.
Catherine's taken the bar up to 115 kilos to wrap up our second attempt bench press attempts. Then we will start right back up at the top with Jennifer, Naomi, and Reagan. Our spotters and loaders today are doing a phenomenal job. They kept everyone safe in squats, making all of the big catches, and now they are continuing into bench. Once again, spotting and loading is probably the most undervalued but most important part of any powerlifting meet.
Very smooth, especially with that close of a grip. You'll usually see the sticking point kind of emerge at the top end. With it being that smooth, I'd say she has a lot more for her third.
Yeah, her and Caitlin are going to be battling it out for the females right now. We'll take a look at our leaderboard here in a minute to see where everyone stands, but I tell you, this is going to be a nice battle. Jennifer has jumped another 5 kilos to her third attempt at 50.
She's fighting it out.
Oh my goodness. Oh, she fights it out, and we'll have to see what the judges say and see if there was any downward motion there. She's shaking her head, but you never know.
And it's 2 to 1
and it
good.
was a good lift.
It was very close. I didn't personally. It's very close.
It looked to
if
me
it
like the
just
bar
stalls,
just stalled.
Yeah, as long as it stalls and it doesn't go back down, that is good. You can see one side goes up, the other goes up. Nothing actually goes down. It's just one side stalls at a time.
Yeah, it didn't look like the bar went down. But again, the judges have the best view, and I would love nothing more than to be able to live zoom in as a referee, and zoom in on the middle of the bar and make sure. But they're making these game time decisions, and I think they made the correct one in that case for sure.
That was a perfect grind on that third attempt from Jennifer.
Great catch by our spotters and loaders. And we're bringing Reagan out. She jumped 2.5 kilos from her second to third. Spotters and loaders making sure they clean off the bar, get everything set exactly as the athlete wants it. An awesome, awesome third attempt.
Very good.
Macy also jumped 2.5 kilos from 60 to 62.5.
Ooh,
And just a little too much.
just got caught at a sticking point, couldn't fight it through. That is only 2.5 keys off her total, so that won't put her out of the big total at all.
China has made a massive jump to 67.5 kilos, jumped 5 and then 7. You don't see that very often, but her second looked really, really good. So
Whenever a
she's got
lifter
this.
does that, I assume her second must have felt really good, and they just know. And obviously you can see it as a coach, but when a lifter just knows, you tend to let them do it.
Let's go, China. Oh, man.
Just looked a little heavy on the descent, and off that press, she was able to brute force it up. Just got a little stuck at the lockout, unfortunately.
Yeah, 2.5 keys too heavy. Taking a 2.5 key jump from her second attempt. Bar is loaded.
Just a little too much fun of a day.
Yeah, what you said earlier about closer grip, you know, their sticking point is a lot higher up. With wider grips, you see that sticking point off the chest because you can't get it off the chest. You can't really lock it out, much less tricep and much more different muscles.
With that kind of exposed, like wider grip, just if you can't get off the chest, that is your main, since your arms aren't as narrow, you can't create that much force immediately off your chest, so it just kind of dies her.
75 kilos loaded onto the bar.
Again, same thing. Just a little too much on the day. I don't know, with that wider grip, you aren't able to grind as much just because your arms are in a much more exposed angle.
Close grip, wide grip, mid grip, whatever it might be, they all have their pros and cons. You just gotta find what's best for your lifter and for yourself and run with it. Bar is loaded for Nikki. Third attempt at 77.5. We only have 3 more bench press attempts for this flight. Oh, she gave it everything she could. Just not enough on today. Caitlin Mankind taking it up to 105 kilos. Bar is loaded for Caitlin.
Perfect third attempt.
Awesome job, Caitlin. I want to remind everyone watching that that is equivalent to 231 pounds, which is more than you walking into a commercial gym and loading up 2 plates on both sides.
Insane.
Kilo plates make the optics slightly different, where you don't get that satisfaction when you go above 225, seeing those plates on the side, but it's satisfaction enough to know all of it in kilos. Wrapping up our flight A, bench press attempts, Catherine Tranum, 120 kilos.
£265. Let's see how smooth.
265 pounds is insane. Come on, Catherine. Oh my
Oh, that was very easy.
goodness.
They might have moved faster in a second.
3 white lights. It looks like Caitlin, Catherine, and Morelia are still leading us. Our top 3 projected for the women. Let's go, Roman. Looks like we do have some time to look at our male forecast standings as well. Shane is still holding strong, projected first. But we are starting to see some names climbing. We are only on bench press, and they are just about to start, so they have a lot of kilos and a lot of good lift points that they can make up here in bench and deadlift to try to get in this top 10.
A lot of ground can be covered in the deadlift event.
And that's where we're going to see a lot of fun calls. Who wants it badly enough? Who's going to make some crazy jumps to get on this leaderboard?
So first out, we have Roman, the biggest bencher here.
Oh my gosh.
Amazing.
It flew. No question on elbow depth, that's for sure. bar is loaded for Jonathan, 67.5 kilos, loaded up onto the bar. You'll see lifters also sometimes will wear wrist wraps with bench press. It's perfectly legal, they just can't touch the bar.
Very speedy opener.
Hopefully we take the trend from flight A into flight B, where we just see some easy openers, building that confidence and building that total.
Another very speedy opener.
Bar is loaded for Landon, 90 kilos. Landon also explaining how he wants his handoff for bench.
Very
Speedy,
smooth.
speedy, and 3 white lights. We are at the halfway point for our bench press openers for Flight B. Theo is opening up at 92.5 kilos. Over 200 pounds.
Very easy opener. Seeing a lot of green on the lifting cast, which is always a good sign. In case you at home are interested, if you just type in liftingcast.com, you can find a meet, which is obviously Powerlifting America Indiana State Championship, and you can follow along too, see the attempts made in real time.
Let's go, Chase. Chase is opening up at 112.5 kilos. Looks like he's about to give the instructions on how he wants his liftoff to go. Got plenty of time. Still got 30 seconds left on that clock.
So Chase and Aiden are actually forecasted 7th and 8th. So I'll be looking to see how their bench goes and their deadlift, because just a little shift in either of those events, especially building that subtotal, that will shift, could shift Aiden up in front of Chase.
Aiden Garner, says that his start of lifting was that he saw his friend doing it in 8th grade, and he just wanted to hang out with him. And now here he is, powerlifting on his own.
Not a bad reason to start. We'll see how the forecasted placing between those two is affected after Aiden hits this bench, opening at 120, 265 pounds. Very smooth.
One of his goals today is to get a 137.5 kilo bench. So
After a
we're gonna
120
see
opener,
attempts.
he will have to make some big jumps to get there, but it is it is possible.
Bar is loaded for Isaiah.
Here goes Mateo, getting a lift off, explaining it. You have a minute. It is never a bad thing to over-explain your lift off. Just try to reduce the risk of any variation from your training. Opening with 130, 287 pounds roughly. Very smooth. That is very impressive for a 74.
Absolutely, and the crazy part is his goals today is just to get used to PA judging and have fun. Looks like he's doing both of those very well right now. And we've got Roman coming up next. He started lifting because he grew up watching his mom and dad lift in their garage gym. His mom is actually competing with him today. You can see them standing over in the corner together. 2 years ago, he joined the School of Strength to help him get stronger for all of his sports. And he really, really wants a deadlift PR today. So we're going to cheer him on for his deadlift PR. What's funny is that part of the form was also, what's your profession? And his statement was, I'm a kid. That made me giggle. Let's go, Roman.
Easy there, Taylor. How's this for a transition?
Roman gets the press command.
There's sick beat.
For 2-1. Yellow card on the right side, which could be jumping commands, but not too sure.
Bar is loaded for Jonathan. I did not know that he was 15.
Yeah, we have a lot of sub-juniors, which is relative. I feel like it's relatively rare at local meets to have this many sub-juniors. Like this whole flight is actually sub-juniors, I think.
Oh, he almost wrecked it, but he did not. He held on to it, and it will be
3 white
rewarded.
lights.
3 white lights. Got Sawyer coming up next, 85 kilos. Yeah, Sawyer's 13.
Wow.
Been lifting for 2 years, and his goal is to get better today. He
It's
wants to
definitely-
send a message to the lifters watching and saying it's never too early to start.
Two to one. It's interesting to see this many sub-juniors this young. It shows the growth of powerlifting.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. If I was doing this at 13, I'd be so strong.
If I started at 13 5 years earlier, I'd still be bad, but I'd still have 5 more years of experience.
Started powerlifting when my knees were already shot. That's my excuse. I'm going to cope a little bit harder through this live stream commentary.
A little bit of a sticking point halfway up, but definitely not out of reach for 2.5 to 5 keys more, I'd say.
Absolutely. Very solid second attempt. Taking the bar up to 100 kilos for Theo.
Solid second from Theo. 3 white lights. Now Chase opted to take a 10-kilo jump, which is relatively big on bench. But it's not unheard of. He's currently forecasted 5th, followed by Aiden, who's forecasted 8th, and Mateo's forecasted 3rd. So it'll be interesting to see if they're even following that, but how that plays out, especially when we head into deadlifts and 30 attempt benches.
Yeah, Chase took some risks on his squat, and it paid off very, very well. And he executed on the platform.
Ooh, very easy second.
Nice and smooth second attempt by Chase.
Normally, if you see big jumps like that, even if it strength-wise is fair, the CNS, your nervous system, would just get shocked by such a big jump. But 22-pound increment did not shock Chase at all.
It appears, just reading the forms that these athletes filled out, a lot of them are athletes. I think that's just part of it, you know. Whenever you're an athlete, you're playing sports growing up, things like that don't affect you like they do. People that didn't grow up in sports don't play
Absolutely.
sports. They get to adapt a little bit easier to all of these changing conditions. We're going to see the next wave, the next generation. I mean, we're already seeing it. Next generation of powerlifters are just going to be breaking records left and right.
Absolutely. And a lot of athletes are going to be able to take these bigger jumps, especially at these weight classes. Another smooth second for Aiden. Oh, sunk and very explosive off the chest, just hits a wall halfway up. With that closer grip, you'll see that a lot more. He tried to fight it out, just a little downward motion, and then it just stopped there. With a better press on the third, I think it is possible to maybe get that sticking point. With that kind of bench style, though, once you hit that wall and you lose that momentum, it's going to fall off pretty quickly.
I think we're going to see those trends that we all know and love so much. I think they're going to be changing a lot.
Here's Mateo coming out with 137.5, 340 pounds. Smokes it.
Very soft touch.
Very fast second. Very curious of what the third attempts will look like. Again, bench can definitely creep up on you, but when it's moving that fast and you have a goal in mind, it's hard to not take a bigger jump.
Oh, and the crowd favorite's going to come up next, Roman. 15.5 kilos. Spotters and loaders getting the block set up for Roman. Had to shift to this view because, I mean, come on. Look at him with his family back there.
Big Roman about to take 15.5 kilos. He gets it up.
Gets it up. Let's see what the judges say.
Free white lights.
White lights for Roman.
The right side got up way faster, but it didn't go, no, the left side did not go down. As long as the bar does not show any downward motion, you're able to stall or go up unevenly. Jonathan Alder taking 82.5. Just gets a little too much on the day. Just gets stuck off the chest. Again, very hard to fight through that position with that wide of a grip because your force production spread out across the bar compared to a closer grip. But the benefit of that is your lockout is much snappier because you're not directly stressing the triceps as much. Here's Sawyer coming out for 198 pounds, 90 kilos.
Let's go, Sawyer.
He's grinding.
He grinded it out as long as he could.
He was fighting. Got stuck there, unfortunately, halfway up.
Bar is loaded for Landon. 97.5 kilos for his third attempt.
Strong off the chest, hits that wall, but pushes through. Box it out. Let's see what the refs say. 2-1. Here comes Theo. Just hits that sticking point. Just a little too much on the day, especially with such a bench that sticks in the middle. It's very hard to judge attempts because off the chest and at the top feels easy, but midway through, that's if you hit that wall, that's what's hard to tell if you're going to be able to push through or not. Next we have Chase Prass with 127.5 kilos. Currently projected 4th overall.
Making a much smaller jump from his second to third than he did his first to second.
That's another attempt strategy. Is if you're feeling good on the opener, take as much of it as you can within reasonable limits of like the jump you can make, and then whatever you have left, try to squeeze it out on the third, which I think is what we're seeing here.
So in the comments, we're seeing some questions on the age ranges. Powerlifting America and IPF affiliates have a lot of different options for what you would like to sign up as. So 18 is actually going to still not be in the open category. Oh, come on, Chase. Excellent job on that third bench press. And
Free white lights for Chase.
But you have a lot of different options. You can still sign up for the open category, but you can also be a junior or something else from 23 and below in age.
Seems like that attempt selection paid off for Chase. Now we have Isaiah retaking a second. I believe with his, he kind of got stuck off the chest, or halfway up off the chest, but he sinks. So if he can maintain tension better in the hole, perhaps he can push through that wall. We'll see. It looks like he does. Let's see what the judges have to say. 2-1.
That's all you need.
The one thing with sync is that depending on the refs and depending on your technique, there's always a chance of down up. It looks like, but that was not what was the blue card, yellow card was for. Perhaps it was heaving or your butt coming up.
Yeah,
Hard to
Isaiah
tell from the
put
second.
together his message to other lifters is to stay consistent. And that was a good testament to it. Missed it on his second, came back and got it on his third.
Here's Aiden Garner. I believe his goal was to hit 135, so he took a 10-kilo jump. He never really wants to hit this goal, or he felt really good after a second. We'll see. Just a little too much on the day. You can kind of tell because I don't believe he was sinking as much on his first two attempts. When you see someone kind of sink under their third when they don't mean to, or they don't typically, that usually means it was a little bit too much on the day.
Now listen, Aiden also mentioned on his About Me facts that he does not have a coach, but he is open to suggestions. Bar is loaded for Mateo. 142.5 kilos loaded onto the bar. It's going to be our last bench press attempt for the day.
Mateo's currently forecasted third. This will add 5 Qs to a total and give him an absolutely massive bench, especially as a 74.
The game really starts going in deadlifts, but if you can build your subtotal enough to put yourself in a great spot going into deadlifts, it's just going to make things so much easier.
And he pushes through. Looked pretty solid to me. We'll see what the refs say. Pretty white lights.
White lights.
Almost a double bodyweight bench as a sub-junior is insane.
Very nicely done.
Take a look at the leaderboard here in a minute. Here's the male top projected. We have Kloie Nutt still in the lead. And we have not too many people moving up from this session yet, but that's also because we haven't seen the deadlift yet, which is where we're going to see a majority of people's total come from.
And for our females, we've got Catherine Tranum leading us, followed very closely behind by Caitlin Mankind, Morelia Farah, Reagan, Nikki, China, Macy, Jennifer, and Naomi. So we've got a good battle going on for those top 3 spots, and I'm excited to see where we go in deadlifts. But we'll see you guys back here in just a few. bar is loaded.
Welcome back for deadlifts. Easy opener.
Easy opener for Jennifer. She actually just got engaged. Huge congratulations for Jennifer. That is amazing. And now she's sitting here doing her meet. She did her first meet at 50. She wants to let everybody know that it is never too late to start. Now she's calling 50 old. She said, you can teach an old dog new tricks. You were in your prime, Jennifer. With deadlifts, you only have one command that you have to follow as an athlete. Once you are locked out at the top, the chief referee will say down, and that is the only command that you have to follow, which is pretty cool.
Another easy opener.
Bar is heading up to 117.5 kilos for China.
Another very easy opener. Love seeing all green.
Oh, it looks like Farah is coming up next. Her goal is to qualify for nationals, do her best, and have fun. She also is a biology major, a woman after my own heart. Women of STEM come together.
I have good news. Once she hits this opener, she will qualify for nationals.
What is the qualifier this year for nationals?
75 kilos.
Is the total again?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. I know in the
As far
first
as I'm
session we had
aware.
a couple of people that wanted to qualify for nationals too, but I wasn't sure if they had
I will double check.
anything.
Very easy.
Fair, if you go back and listen to this, biology majors unite. It's worth it.
You're at 75
keep
kilos.
keep pushing. You got this.
I can't say anything. I'm a business major. Can't.
I loved all my science classes. It's so nice now. You said 75 kilos was the
Yeah. So the bar and some change.
nice.
Another solid opener.
Sounds like people are hitting their goals then to qualify.
You'll typically see a lot more lighter openers on deadlift because this is the lift where you can jump the most. But also being the last lift of the day, the opener is just easy to kind of gauge how you feel after squat and bench. Bench fatigue doesn't tend to carry over too much, but squat, especially push to a pretty maximal percentage, definitely can. The crowd is on Reagan's side for sure. Very easy pull.
Very, very nice opener for Reagan. This was only Reagan's second competition. She is crushing it, holding herself as a very experienced lifter on the platform. Bar is loaded for Nikki, 145 kilos.
Smooth.
Oh, Oh, Nikki wants to give a shout out to her family and friends watching and her Classroom F kiddos. Also, shout out to her husband for being her biggest fan. Bar is loaded. 150 kilos loaded.
Very smooth, yet again.
Awesome, awesome opener. She hopes to take the junior squat record for Ohio, PR all her lifts, officially, not just in the gym. And it looks like she is accomplishing a lot of those goals today.
Heck yeah.
Catherine Tranum opening up 165 kilos.
So she is currently projected second in the women. See if she can make up some ground on the poles. Easy work. I'll say
Great opener.
very interesting pole style. You tend to see conventional across heavier weight classes, but for her, it's more like a narrow sumo.
Yeah, even going back to her squat being more high bar, she's really found what works exactly for her. And that's really all powerlifting is about.
100% agree. There are always going to be the arguments that sumo or wider grip will be easier, but nothing's all black and white. For powerlifting, it's what you feel most comfortable in and you can do repetitively without getting hurt.
Emphasis on the without injury portion. Speedy opener for Caitlin.
Very fast.
3 white lights. Taking it back off the top at 90 kilos with Jennifer for her second attempt. Again, deadlifts is when the real fun starts. You have your subtotal, you have all of the work put in, and now is whenever you can take those jumps and really figure out where you're going to place for the day and play those games. Come on, Jennifer.
A little shaky at the top, 3 white lights though, nonetheless.
There we go. We've got some more cheering going on in the crowd. Naomi jumped up to 95 kilos. Bar is loaded for Naomi.
Very easy second. 10 kilo jump for Cheyenne. Very smooth. That's always a good sign with conventional too, is you'll tend to see the slow down at the top of a lift. She did not slow down at the top of the lift.
We've got another 10 kilo jump. Fair is going up to 130 kilos.
Very,
strong lockout.
very similar pull.
Very, very strong lockout. We've got the same loaded form. Macy coming up 130 kilos. You'll see the baby powder on these lifters' legs, and then you'll see chalk on their hands. The chalk's going to help them grip the bar and hold on to that, whereas the baby powder is going to help that weight just slide on up their legs.
Very snappy lockout. It's always a good sign.
3 white lights. Looks like she's got a lot of room to go.
Just not realizing. I don't think, besides Catherine, I don't think I've seen a single sumo puller.
Yeah, that's true. An observation that I have not made.
It's pretty rare.
Very nice attempt by Reagan.
Very snappy seconds. I'm wondering how these attempts will go for the thirds.
Well, hey, we've got a lot of conventional pullers here. Enough adrenaline, you can pull a lot more than you think you can.
It's much easier to grind out a conventional lift than a sumo.
Taking the bar up to 152.5 kilos for Nikki. Nikki's been able to watch her son compete alongside her this whole day, and now it is her time. Come on, Nikki. It's a good lift for Nikki. 3 white lights. More deadlifts for our second attempts, and then we'll take a look at the leaderboard and see where everyone is standing going into third attempts. We've had a lot of strong lifters come out today and a very wide age range.
So these last 3 pulls are all going to be projected in order: third, second, and first.
It looks like a lifter was accidentally skipped here, so they're going to fix it, and they're going to put Morelia back as the current lifter. Kilo jump from her first to second attempt. If this moves well, she can really push.
Pretty smooth second. Again, conventional, you're going to really see that sticking point around the knees and at the top. Not much there. If there's any time to full send, especially potentially third to first, it'll be on your third deadlift.
Absolutely. We've got Catherine and then Caitlin are projected first and second place right now.
$15 jump.
Let's go, Catherine.
Very smooth. That's a solid second. Now we have Caitlin. 20 key jump up to 485, 220 kilos. See what the refs have to say.
Oh, man, yeah, it looks like there could have been some support on the thigh there. Maybe a little bit of downward motion as well. Either way, she's got another shot to come back and get that in this tight race from first, second, and third place with our female standings.
Even if you don't mean to, sometimes it's hard not to hitch or support. Just because when you get to the top, you're waiting so far back at some points, you just kind of lose your center of gravity. So it's almost, the bar's vertically over your toes or your foot. So it's almost impossible at that point to lock out because the bar's stuck over your midfoot.
Oh, come on, Jennifer.
Very solid third attempt. 2-1.
We've still got our first and second place very, very, very close to one another. Caitlin and Catherine are really battling it out. Morella is in the third. We've also got Morella, Reagan, and Farah all right next to each other. So it'll be cool to see what they end up doing for their third attempts.
Another smooth third.
A great fight on
Very
that lockout.
Very good attempt.
And 3 white lights. Taking the bar up to 132.5 kilos for China.
I was told to spice it up a little, so to Levi in the chat, I think you need to pull conventional.
My hot take is
Like a
that
real man.
science-based lifting is all just based on the evidence that you find from your own lifters, and that's what the science is.
Yes. It's a fight, but she gets it. We'll see. Free white
3
lights.
white lights.
The fair's opted to take a 7.5 kilo jump. I think she has that. Just interesting to see because I know they're coached by Reagan Lacey, both her and Cheyenne. Their jumps do seem to be relatively consistent with each other, but Fair must feel good on this because she did take a larger jump at China.
Got that conventional adrenaline that she can really just pull this from.
Locks it out. It's a fight off the floor, but really easy to top. 3 white lights. And like you said, the adrenaline for conventional, I think that the beauty of conventional is you can kind of get away with not being perfect, and you can kind of just brute force it, to be honest. A little bit of a rounding of the back, a little hip slightly coming up a little early, never a bad thing on conventional. Wow. Again, another snappy walkout at the top,
Very, very nicely done.
which is usually the opposite of what most conventional pullers end up like. The crowd is on Reagan's side. 7.5 key jump from her second.
Oh, look at her. She's smiling. She knows.
Oh, wow. Great third. The crowd is definitely hyped.
And 3 white lights.
You always know it's a good day when you come out smiling. Here comes Nikki, another 7.5 key jump. She comes out.
All right, come on, Nikki.
Looks like she got it. We'll see what the refs have to say. Pretty white lights. Great pull. We got Morelia. Now this is going to be interesting because she's currently forecasted third. Levi is getting dropped tomorrow.
Hey, we can take the vote 2-1, Levi. 167.5 kilos. Come on, Mo.
Patient at the bar. Sets the hips. Ah, just a little too much on the day.
You know what? That sometimes happens. You swing for the jump.
Just at the knees, that's always where you'll see on conventional deadlift.
Last 2 deadlifts of this flight.
So there's Catherine. She's currently first. However, Caitlin behind her is forecasted first based off her final pull. So Catherine is going to need to hit this to have a chance at first, to maintain first.
I heard that dropping clients on the last day of their week 4, especially clients named Levi, I heard that that's just science-based lifting right there.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah?
I think Jeff
Makes sense.
Nippard made a video on it.
All right, Catherine.
Very smooth. She walks it out. Now this is going to shake up. It's going to shake up the top 2.
3 white lights. She stayed very patient through that lockout, and it paid off.
So Caitlin's going to need to pull this 220 kilos to beat her and move herself up to first. She currently sits in second. She missed this on her second, but
Anything can happen with enough adrenaline.
anything can happen. 485 pounds. Caitlin has the bigger deadlift, and that means she has the final say. It's a matter of can she do it without hitching. She pulls. She sticks with it.
Stays patient. She stays patient.
Looks like she walks it out. That was a long down command. We'll see what the refs have to say. 3
And
white
she
lights.
gets it. 3 white lights. What a comeback. It looks like our final standings, Caitlin has got on top. First place, barely beating out Catherine. And we have Mo in third for our top 3. A very, very, very close battle. You'll notice that Catherine actually has the higher total in that table, but it's not based off of necessarily total overall. In weight class, sure. But overall, we're also just judging by IPF good lift points as well as age points.
So that pull secured the win for Caitlin. The way the good lift points works is it calculates body weight, sex, age, and total. And based off weigh-ins, Caitlin was lighter. So even though she totaled 17.5 kilos less, the 20 kilo body weight difference is going to be what makes up that coefficient difference.
Still a very entertaining and tight battle between our first and second place finishers. It's always a fun time when you have that person in your flight to push you at a local meet.
A final pull is always going to make it interesting.
Here's our crowd favorite, Roman.
Here comes Roman. Rips it. Oh my goodness.
So speedy. Taking it up to 132.5 kilos for Jonathan's opening attempt. These are our last lifts of the day. This is the second session. And this is the last flight. So once these lifters are done, then the whole meet is done.
Jonathan Alder up. Are only 66. He's going to open with over double his body weight. Very easy. Another conventional puller. It's kind of interesting. Our morning session had more sumo pullers and they were the heavier weight classes, which it's usually more common to see conventional in heavier weight classes, but very easy. Another conventional puller. This is now kind of odd. But they know what's up. Another smooth opener. I believe all day we've only had one missed deadlift opener, which is always a good thing.
Three white lights for Isaiah. Aiden opening up as well with 195 kilos. Bar is loaded for Aiden. You'll see all these lifters also have deadlift socks on. Your deadlift socks have to be on for you to deadlift. They have to cover all of your calf, all the way up to the bottom of your knee and the top of your shin.
So it seems we have another semi-narrow sumo, which is kind of an uncommon thing. Very easy first pull. Looks very comfortable for him in that stance.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot more lifters nowadays that are using different varieties of the positioning in squat, bench, and deadlift. More lifters start to fray away from the standard, exactly what you should, quote unquote, do, and find their own style of lifting.
Absolutely. We'll see some of the strongest in the world. Just top of my head, it's like you look at Turbo Tiff, squats extremely narrow. Evan Hawk on bench is wider than my sumo. And of course, you'll just see variations on deadlift. This might be our first hook grip puller of the session.
Speedy opener.
Very easy for Mateo. The advantages of hook grip are you don't have physical grip issues. It's just a matter of how much pain your thumbs can tolerate wrapped around a bar. Essentially, you are covering that bar with your thumb and then holding your thumb in place. The only limitations would be your thumb not being long enough,
Or
and
just finger length.
finger length in general,
All of that.
and of course pain tolerance. But you're not going to get as much asymmetry long term because your arms are both the same. But also grip issues tend to not be the main factor that causes the grip to go.
It's always a thing. If you can set your hook quickly and it's not going to distract from the rest of your lift, like Theo, he just set his hook very, very quickly.
It's an easy lift too.
It looks very solid. If you're spending 10 minutes down at the bar trying to set a hook, perhaps hook is not for you.
Absolutely. That's one of the benefits of mixed, is you can kind of just grip it and go.
Kind of just grip it and go.
I'll say I like seeing hook more on sumo for sure, because on mixed you can get away with a little unevenness on conventional. Sumo, you don't have your hips to like kind of hold your arms in place. You can get helicoptered pretty easily. Now with
All
chase,
that skill, depending on what's going to work best for you.
absolutely. Here's chase with opening with a chill 501 pounds.
Do you know what bird means?
No,
Nice. Well,
it's probably gonna fly. Well,
it did. That's clever. I hope that's what that
I
actually
hope
was
that- yeah,
intended
I hope.
for. 'Cause that'd be kind of funny. You know what? I'm hopeful. I'm gonna believe it.
yeah. Let's not ask him. We're just gonna hope.
We're just gonna believe it. Jordan, the back spotter, he goes to Circle City, and he just started making videos trying to teach all of us what the new terms of the kids are.
Oh, man.
So he walks over to people while we're lifting, and he'll just go, "Hey, do you know what this means?" And
That's
the person
not good.
guesses, and sometimes it's like kind of close, and sometimes it's just so far off. Sometimes he asks us what things mean, and we didn't even know it was a thing.
She's gonna start making stuff up. Here comes Roman. This is massive.
Here we go, Roman, 30 kilos.
Bang. Very easy for Roman.
Call that a bird because it also flew.
Remember when we were here put down one playground and we were going by the girls' team photos? Same girls.
Jonathan Alder, 10 kilo jump, pretty normal for deadlift, pretty typical. This does seem to be the floor typically
No, it's just that
for most lighter male weight classes. You usually won't see them go below 10 kilos under jumps until they're at top end from second to third. There's that fast mix, grip, and pull. A little sticky at the top. Perfectly fine second, looking really good. He's very happy. We're going up to 157.5 kilos, which is 347 or 348 pounds. He walks out. Again, that fast mixed grip, and he just pulls it. Very fast second. I'd kind of be surprised not to see another 12.5 kilo jump on his top end. Just to secure that free red pull, even though it won't be free reds because there's collars. Here's a Landon. Another smooth pull. You see the beauty and quickness of setup on mixed grip conventional. Just can eliminate nerves, take advantage of adrenaline. You can't overthink when you're just grabbing the bar and pulling. We've not seen many demonstrations of it earlier because there's not many sumo pullers, but when you get fast and overthink on sumo, you will run into these technical issues. And with sumo, with those technical issues, it will just end the lift. Another easy second. I'm going to imagine the jumps going into thirds will be relatively large from everybody so far. Zane Gardner setting up again. That relatively narrow sumo, but he checks all the boxes. His hips are in a good position. His knees are in line with his toes. Beautiful. Great second. Here's Mateo taking 220 kilos as a second. As a 74 is insane. Currently third place. Forecasted third place. Another great pull. 15 kilo jump, seemed to not really phase him much.
Set his hook very, very fast, very, very steadily. Getting the bar cleaned off. A lot of baby powder and chalk can accumulate onto the bar, which can make it very difficult for the next lifter. Which is why the spotters always clean off the bar whenever there is any type of buildup.
There comes Theo. A little sticky at the top, but very smooth nonetheless.
Still ends up locking it out and got 3 white lights.
Hips slightly rose, which can lead to that stickier lockout with sumo. You really just need to be super, super patient off the floor, keep your hips in position. And then once it eventually breaks the floor, it'll shoot up really fast and walk out because your hips are already in that predetermined spot. That little mistiming just led to a little stickier of a walkout, but very smooth nonetheless. And if you just cleans up a little bit, that fairy tim's going to fly.
Speaking of flying, here's Chase again.
Of a bird's kind of faded now. 15 kilo jump.
His opener did indeed fly.
His
And
second
it looks like
flew
his
too.
second is going to as well. 3 white lights.
This is a very, very impressive deadlift. Mind you, this is an 83 sub-junior. Pulling, what, 537 pounds?
We've got our fan favorite out for his 3rd attempt, deadlift. As we go into deadlift, our current standings, we still have Shane up in the lead. Mateo is now in second place. Corbin from the first session is holding on third.
Mateo has certainly covered a lot of ground. Being a 74 and putting up the second biggest total in his fight so far. But Roman smokes that.
Oh, and running
And
off
he runs
the
off. He's super
platform,
happy.
hands raised up in the air. You love to see that.
My friend Max says they need to drug test him.
Taking the bar up to 150 kilos for John. While we are getting the bar loaded, just another shout out to all the sponsors for this meet. The first Powerlifting America Indiana State Championship, held at Circle City Strength and directed by Kloie Nutt.
Jonathan, 7.5 kilo jump. Pretty sensible. And he's grinding.
There we go.
Really
Come
stuck
on.
at the top where that gets stuck. But he pulls through. He holds it. He gets the down command. 3 white lights.
3 white lights. He got real close there to dropping the bar a little bit too fast.
Very
Without
close.
control. But he held onto it, and the hype was worth it.
That's the difficult thing with that. You shouldn't slam it, but if your hands are in contact, it's hard to argue that you weren't in quote unquote control.
Yeah, you can't. I think the main thing is just the safety issue, right?
Absolutely.
If you're going
Can't
to
drop
let
it.
go of the bar, if you're
That's
going to
awful.
throw it down,
That's-
splinter the platform.
That's like my number one pet peeve when I see random people want to just drop it at the top. It's like,
Absolutely. I would say those people that are doing that obviously have never paid for a set of kilos or bought
at
a new
least
bar.
follow it on the way down. I understand it's like 800 pounds sometimes, but you have to follow it down. Another perfect third attempt
Awesome
from Landon.
grind by Landon.
Flying for deadlifts. We're now on our 6 deadlifts remaining. Sawyer Small with a 20 kilo jump. That second must have felt really good. That is a massive jump, especially considering his second was 12.5 from his opener. But if there's any time to cover ground, it's now. And it's easy. Maybe he should have taken like a 30 kilo jump. I don't really know.
Oh my goodness.
So this is where I would say if you aren't on a prep for a different meet, go into the warm-up room and load up some more. Just keep going.
Just sign up for another meet tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's Sunday. There's one around, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. There's Aiden with only a 2.5 key jump, which is relatively abnormal on deadlift, but if he wasn't feeling it on a second and he thinks he can just squeeze out a little more, it's worth it.
These lifters also got to select their third attempt songs. You can see some of them are waiting for that spot in the song that they really like get hyped to.
I understand that 100%. Being able to choose your favorite deadlift song just makes the meet so much better anyway. He's pulling.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, the walkout was a bit iffy. Let's see what the refs have to say. 3 white lights.
3 white lights.
Definitely the right call on the day.
I used to listen to a metronome in my AirPods whenever I was doing tempo work. So the
I
third
want to say
attempt
that's,
deadlift
I wanna
song,
say that's
you know.
awful, but like, it makes sense. I can't fault you. It makes sense. As someone who consistently jumps for 2 count, I need to do that.
They also have they have whole playlists.
That was a perfect tempo. Isaiah with,
So Isaiah.
see, another great third attempt. You know, for a bunch of sub-juniors that are self-coached, some of these are, these attempt selections have been really good.
Absolutely. It's just more of that lifter's maturity that's showing up so much earlier in
Absolutely.
age.
That's one of the biggest learning curves about powerlifting is not getting greedy, not necessarily taking your top end, but taking what's there on the day. You're going to be tired. You're going to be fatigued. Realistically, like, bro, you're tired. You're here for hours. Your top end's not going to show through like it normally does. So being smart and mature and taking what's there on the day to build that total is going to bring you very far. And seeing people like 15 years old doing that's really good. I wish my athletes did that. So here's Mateo, currently third place, I believe. If not, I think he's second. 10 kilo jump.
All right, come on, Mateo.
He's pulling.
Oh,
I saw the bar stop. I didn't see any downward motion, but we'll see what the refs have to say.
yeah, I think it dipped down
2
a
to
little
1
bit.
for downward motion.
It was a little tiny bit, but it looked like it did dip a little
Very
bit.
close.
Right about there. Oh, such a minuscule
Ah.
downward, but downward
Can
nonetheless.
definitely see both sides there. That's actually our first miss of the fight, which, I mean, that's pretty good odds.
It's pretty good on. Don't jinx anyone else. We still got a few. Come
knock
on,
on
Theo.
wood. Theo with a 5 kilo jump. That last one got a little sticky. I think it was a little bit of a misgroove in the hips, but we'll see how his third move. His hips stay in better shape there, and he walks out really fast. See what the refs say.
Wait for it.
3 white lights.
3 white lights. Had to pause for dramatic effect. Really build that tension up for him.
So we have a 10 kilo jump for Chase Press, which this will move him from 4th to 3rd.
Man, two good sessions with good battles.
Yeah, this is very,
We had a close battle on the female side between Catherine and Caitlin. Now we've got some more battles for our top 3 spots between the morning session and this session.
so if my lifting cast is correct, this will be the pull for podium.
This is the pull for podium. Our leaderboard.
10 kilo jump to shift Chase from 4th to bronze.
Our leaderboard on here is going to show IPF good lift points. On our actual results on the lifting cast that you can find at liftingcast.com, it's showing also including the age points.
See Chase, he's pulling. Great third attempt to see if he can hold it. He holds on to it. Looked like he was just settling. And he gets 3 white lights, he gets the lift.
3 white lights.
Great third attempt. That was a smart call. He could have probably reached a little more, but that's all he had to do.
And that's where we end up. We've got Shane still in first. And this is, remember, just the IPF good lift points, not necessarily factoring in the age as well. But we've got Shane, Corbin, Mateo, Austin, and Aiden. Now, if we do take a look over at the actual lifting cast that shows our standings, we do have Austin that ended up in first place, including the age points. Shane in second, and Chase pulled for the podium in third.
That was smart. He probably had 2.5 keys more, but he did what he needed to do to get bronze, and he secured it. Executed flawlessly.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. Sorry to Levi,
Now,
but we will catch you guys next time at the next Powerlifting America meet.